The protein problem. No one warned you about. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you really thought about the food on your plate? Not the sugar, not the salt, but the protein. Because here's the truth. After age 50, your body starts losing muscle quietly, but relentlessly. And by age 70 or 80, you could lose up to one-third of your total muscle mass. That's according to Harvard Health Publishing. It doesn't happen overnight. It starts when you skip that breakfast egg, when dinner is toast and tea, when your body keeps asking for fuel, and you keep giving it air. This is sarcopenia, the silent disease of aging. And protein, yes. Protein is the fuel your muscles are begging for. But the sad truth, most older adults are not eating nearly enough. They think they are, but they aren't. And that's how the decline begins. Leg cramps, difficulty rising from chairs. Eventually, a walker, then immobility. And then the day you don't get out of bed, but it doesn't have to be this way. If you've ever said, I'm getting weaker, and I don't know why. If you've been skipping meals or eating light to stay healthy, leave me a comment, type 1 if this feels familiar. Type 0 if not yet, but you want to stay ahead. And whatever your number, you need to hear what I'm about to say. Number 1, sarcopenia, the muscle thief. You never saw coming. You've probably heard the word before to sarcopenia, but do you really know what it means? It means your muscles are shrinking, not because of disease, not because of injury, but simply because of time. According to Harvard Health Publishing, adults who don't strength train lose about 4 to 6 pounds of muscle every 10 years starting at age 30. And after age 50, the process speeds up dramatically. By age 70 or 80, nearly one-half of all older adults have sarcopenia. Think about that. Half the people in your community, half your friends at church or in your neighborhood, walking around with less muscle than they need to stay safe, and most of them don't even know it. Because sarcopenia doesn't always hurt. It doesn't show up on a blood test. It doesn't announce itself with fireworks. It shows up when you struggle to lift a grocery bag. You hesitate at the first step of the staircase. You avoid kneeling down because you're not sure you can get back up. That's not aging. That's a loss of function. That's the slow theft of independence. And if we don't fight back, it takes everything. First the legs, then the balance, then the ability to move without fear. Before long, it's the walker, then the wheelchair, then being stuck in bed. Sarcopenia doesn't just cause weakness. It leads to falls, fractures, loss of confidence, and yes, early death. But here's the most dangerous part. Most people don't even realize it's happening because the body adapts. You get used to sitting more. You get used to moving less. And suddenly, the life you once lived becomes a memory. But let me tell you something. This condition is not inevitable. Sarcopenia is not just aging. It's the result of missing signals and missing nutrients, especially protein. And the solution starts with noticing the signs and taking action before it's too late. Tell me in the comments, have you noticed any of these signs? Maybe you've started avoiding stairs. Maybe you're taking longer to stand. Or maybe you've just felt not as strong as you used to be. Whatever it is, say it, because awareness is how the healing starts. Number 2, protein isn't just for bodybuilders, it's for survivors. Let's get one thing straight. As you get older, you need more protein, not less. But most people over 60, they're eating less than ever. Why? Because they're afraid of gaining weight. Because they've been told too much protein might harm their kidneys. Because toast is easier than cooking eggs. And that's how the damage begins meal by meal, decade by decade. According to Harvard Health Publishing, the minimum recommended protein intake is 0.36 grams per pound of body weight. But that's not enough to build or maintain muscle. It's barely enough to survive. For healthy aging and muscle preservation, older adults need closer to 0.45 to 0.6 grams per pound. That's about 1.0 to 1.3 grams per kilogram. Let me break that down for you. If you weigh 150 pounds, you need at least 68 grams of protein daily, and ideally up to 90 grams. If you weigh 175 pounds, you need about 79 to 105 grams of protein each day. Most seniors I talk to are eating half of that, and the consequences: fatigue, slower healing, shrinking muscles, and yes, a fast track to frailty and immobility. You see, as we age, our muscles become resistant. We don't build muscle as easily as we did in our 30s. It takes more work and more fuel. That fuel is protein. Without enough of it, no matter how much you move, you're spinning your wheels. You could be doing all the right exercises, but if your muscles don't have the amino acids to rebuild, it's like trying to fix a house without wood. Now here's something no one tells you. Older adults don't just need more protein, they need it more often. Your body can't store protein like it does fat or carbs. That's why it's critical to get a steady stream meal by meal, not just one big steak at night. 25 to 30 grams per meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's your new blueprint. So don't skip breakfast, don't go light on dinner. Feed your muscles before they vanish. Drop a comment below. What's the one protein food you always keep in your kitchen? And if you're not sure where to start, just type protein, plan, and I'll help you build one that fits your lifestyle. Because you're not just eating for today, you're eating for the strength to walk next month, to climb stairs next year, to stay out of that hospital bed 5 years from now. You don't need more pills, you need more protein. Let's make it happen. Number 3, spread it out. Why timing your protein matters. One big meal isn't enough. Here's how to feed your muscles. Right? Here's a question I ask every patient over 60 who walks into my clinic. How much protein did you eat today? And when most of them look at me confused, some shrug and say, well, I had a good dinner. Steak, chicken, maybe some beans. But here's the problem. They skipped breakfast, had toast and tea for lunch, and then tried to make up for it with one big meal at night. Let me tell you, that doesn't work. Not when you're 60, 70, or 80 years old. Because your body doesn't just need protein, it needs protein at the right times. The science behind timing. Your body doesn't store protein like it stores fat or sugar. You need a steady supply every few hours to maintain muscle health. And after age 60, your muscles become what we call anabolic resistant. That means they don't respond to small amounts of protein like they used to. To trigger muscle repair and growth, you need enough protein at each meal, not just total protein across the day. According to Harvard Health Publishing and multiple clinical studies, adults over 60 should aim for about 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal to effectively stimulate muscle protein synthesis. So even if you hit 90 grams of protein a day, if it's all packed into dinner, you're leaving strength on the table. Your muscle is a fire feed. Think of your muscles like a campfire. You don't dump all your firewood on it at 9 p.m. and expect it to stay warm all day. You feed it slowly. You tend to do it at regular intervals. A little bit at a time, just enough to keep it burning. Same with muscle. If you only eat 5 grams of protein in the morning, 10 at lunch, and 75 grams at dinner, your body can only use about 30 grams from that big meal. The rest gets burned or stored. That's why many older adults, even the ones eating enough, still lose muscle. A real-world example. Let's look at 2 people. Person A, breakfast 2 eggs 12 g, toast, yogurt 10 grain, 22 grams. Lunch chicken sandwich, 25 g. Dinner salmon and quinoa, 35 g, total 82 grams spread over 3 meals. Person B, breakfast coffee and toast 3 g. Lunch vegetable soup and crackers 8 g. Dinner big steak 70 g, total 81 grams, same total, but 85% at dinner. Guess who's building more muscle? Person A. Every time. Because they're feeding their body when it can actually use the nutrients. How to fix it, meal by meal. Let's break it down. Breakfast, most missed by seniors. Aim 25-30 grams. Options, 2 scrambled eggs, 12 grams, 1, half cup cottage cheese, 14 grams, 1 slice whole, grain toast with peanut butter 7 grams. Lunch, turkey sandwich, 25 grams, Greek yogurt, 15 grams, mixed nuts, 5 grams, Dinner, grilled salmon or chicken, 30 grams. Lentils and spinach, 10 grams. Milk or fortified plant-based drink, 8 grams. It's easier than you think once you plan it. You don't need supplements. You need structure. What this means for you. This is about preserving freedom. Feeding your body isn't just about energy. It's about staying out of a wheelchair, staying independent, standing up on your own every morning. So tell me in the comments which meal is hardest for you to add protein to breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Be honest, because if we know where the gap is, we can fix it together. And if you want help building a simple plan, type protein plan in the comments. I'll share meal ideas for every budget and lifestyle. Don't let protein be an afterthought. Don't wait until you're weak to wish you'd eaten differently. Every bite you eat is a vote for stronger muscles. Every well-timed meal is another step away from sarcopenia. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be intentional. Let's feed your strength 3 meals at a time. Number 4, protein alone won't save you, but protein, movement. So you've started eating more protein. That's great. That's a huge first step. But let me tell you something I've seen over and over again in patients, in studies, and even in my own family. Protein alone isn't enough. You can eat 100 grams of protein a day, but if your muscles don't need to rebuild, they won't. It's like having bricks delivered to your driveway, but never picking up the hammer. Your muscles need a reason to grow, a signal, a challenge. And that's where resistance training comes in. The science of stimulus. According to Harvard Health Publishing, combining dietary protein with resistance training significantly boosts muscle protein synthesis, especially in adults over 60. Your body doesn't just grow stronger because you ate chicken. It grows stronger when you use that protein to repair micro tears in muscle caused by gentle resistance, like standing from a chair, pushing against a wall, or lifting a grocery bag. That tear and repair cycle is how your muscles say, okay, we still matter. We're still needed. And guess what? If they don't hear that message, they shut down. They atrophy. They vanish. Even if you're eating like a champion. What counts as strength training? You don't need a gym. You don't need weights. You don't need to sweat buckets. You just need movement with resistance. And you already have the best tool, your body. Here's a starter routine I give to most of my patients over 60. 1. Chair sit to stands. Start seated. Cross your arms over your chest. Stand up. Sit down. Repeat 10 to 12 times. Strengthens thighs and glutes, the exact muscles you use every time you get out of a chair or toilet. 2. Wall push-ups. Stand about 2 feet from a wall. Place hands on the wall, shoulder width apart. Lower chest, then push back. 10 slow reps. Builds shoulder stability, arm strength, and improves posture. 3. Calf raises. Hold the back of a chair. Rise up on your toes. Hold for 2 seconds. Lower slowly. Repeat 15 times. Supports balance and ankle strength, preventing falls. Want to push a little further? Add in marching in place 30 seconds. Bicep curls with water bottles. Standing leg lifts for hip mobility. You don't need to sweat. You need to signal. When should you do it? Right after a protein-rich meal is ideal. Why? Because your muscles are primed for growth when they've just received fuel. According to Mayo Clinic, pairing protein intake with strength training within a 2-hour window maximizes muscle building in seniors. So here's your new rhythm. Eat breakfast with 30 grams of protein. Do 10 minutes of light resistance exercise. Repeat the pattern again after lunch or dinner. That's your muscle recovery rhythm. Eat, move, rebuild. Eat, move, rebuild. Start small, but start. Don't worry if you can't do 15 reps yet. Don't worry if your legs shake. That's not weakness. That's your body waking up. You're not training for a competition. You're training for independence, for getting out of bed without help, for opening your own car door, for walking without fear. Tell me in the comments, which move are you starting with tomorrow? Chair stands, wall push-ups, calf raises, type exercise. Ready if you're committing to just 10 minutes. And if you're pairing it with protein, You're doing exactly what your body's been waiting for. Your muscles are listening. They just need the signal. So give them both protein to build, resistance to activate. That's how you slow aging. That's how you reclaim your power. Not someday, not next month. Today, let's keep moving together. This is how you fight back. Let me tell you something I've learned after 5 decades of treating older adults. Muscle loss doesn't just take strength, it takes choices from you. It takes away your ability to say, yes, I'll walk there. Yes, I'll get up. Yes, I can do it myself. But here's what most people don't realize. You can take those choices back, and it doesn't take magic. It takes meals and it takes movement. It takes moments of courage, small ones every single day. One breakfast with protein, one 10-minute walk. One time you say, I'm not skipping lunch today. That's how strength returns. Not overnight, but gradually like light filling a dark room. And you know what that journey starts exactly where you are. It starts right now. So I want you to pause and really ask yourself, do you want to keep shrinking quietly? Or do you want to build even if it's slow, even if it's messy? Because I believe in rebuilding. I believe in comebacks. And I believe that life after 60 can be strong, beautiful, independent if you fight for it. Tell me in the comments below, what's one small thing you're going to change this week? Just one. Type it. Own it. Let this moment be the first brick in your new foundation. Is it add 1 egg to breakfast, do 10 wall push-ups before bed, plan 30 grams of protein at lunch? Say it, and if you need help, this community is here. You are not alone, and you are not past your prime. You are still the architect of what comes next. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, because next time, we're going deeper. In the next episode of Dr. Muscle, we answer a question that many people ignore until it's too late. What are the symptoms of sarcopenia? What does muscle loss really feel like in daily life? What are the early red flags that most people dismiss? How do you know if your body's already in decline, even if you haven't fallen? We'll break it all down clearly, compassionately, and I'll give you the tools to read your body before it's too late. Because noticing sarcopenia early, that could be the key to living 10 more years in full independence. So don't miss it. You're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you wants to be stronger again. I see you. I believe in you. Let's move forward together.